Right. Well, driver's license in Arkansas are a big deal. Well, I think there are only 2 cities in Arkansas, maybe 3 now, that have public transportation. We have buses. And so if you're in Arkansas and you need to go somewhere, you're going to need a car. And if you get a misdemeanor ticket, a speeding ticket, seatbelt ticket, brake lights, and you don't pay or don't show up, we will suspend your driver's license, issue a warrant for your arrest for the misdemeanor crime. A significant portion of our target clientele have suspended driver's license. We had a client a couple of years ago. We picked her up very late as a client. We were in court, in juvenile court with another client, and she came up and asked one of our case managers for help. And her story was that she had a seatbelt ticket that was 3 years old. The $250 ticket had kind of ballooned with fees and fines to $600. She did not have a felony. She had poor taste in men. She got in the child welfare system when her then current boyfriend was beating on her so badly that the neighbors called the cop. There were 4 children in the home, and so the police officers had DCFS out, and they opened a protective services case. And then she moved out, kind of satisfying the safety requirement, but she had popped positive for marijuana at the time, but had clean UAs for the next year or so. But she was largely ignorant, a little afraid of the justice system, didn't know how to navigate it. And she was driving with expired tags and was pulled over and taken to jail because of the warrant. And her kids then were put back into foster care. Ended up TPRing 3 of the 4 children. We found that in high-risk to recidivate individuals in Arkansas, we did a study of about 1,100 of them over 1 year out of our SSP unit. And we found that 67% of all the individuals that were on a sanction, parole sanction, had a suspended driver's license. 30% had multiple suspensions, so more than 1 court. And so that caused us to do a few things. One is we started partnering and helping start what is called, they call it alternative sentencing. I think it's more accurately described, because it happens in misdemeanor courts, as a community diversion program. So we've turned community courts into kind of specialty courts where a case manager will go there and the judge will reduce fees and fines, and we'll help people with suspended driver's license, get jobs, get GEDs, get counseling, recovery, that kind of thing based upon assessments. And then we tie that in with the child welfare issue. So it's part of the network. It's the system thinking, right? Folks that may have problems with reentry. Our recidivism rate's about half of everyone that comes out of Arkansas prison lately will go back within 3 years. A driver's license is one of the barriers. Full-time employment's another one. And if you don't have transportation, then you're not going to work full-time. You're going to find it very difficult to work full-time in Arkansas. So we got a couple laws passed additionally. So now parole officers in Arkansas and judges in Arkansas can issue a temporary driver's license. And then we put some services on the back end of our software solution so that every client onboarded, we, in partnership with Driver Control, do a national search, create a report, and send it back to the case manager based upon what that individual, Paul Chapman, he's got a problem in Kansas and one in Blytheville, Arkansas, and here are the details around it. And then we can work with those courts to find out exactly what is needed to remove the warrant. And so driver's license became a significant issue, and it's not one that we identified really that close, but because we were collecting data, it just, it popped to the top of our need to address.
Mm-hmm. And that's one of those things that most people in most programs are like, that's just the system, versus saying, how can the system be changed to better support people's success?